Alright guys, just came back from running. I think I ran probably 3 miles. But this is the first time in like a decade and a half that I've ever experienced runner's high. The reason why I recognized it is that there came a point where I was running and I was like tired and I was fatiguing. And then I looked up, and the more I looked up, the more tired I got. So I started looking down, and it got my mind to stop thinking of, oh, when am I gonna stop running? When am I gonna stop running? I realized my mindset just changed from like constant thinking of when I'm gonna stop running to like nothing. It was only 3 miles, so it wasn't that long, but I ran through the whole 3 miles, jogged. It went by so fast, it was crazy. I could have ran another 3 or 4 miles. And then the crazy thing is that when I stopped running, it felt like I was floating. It was the same thing that happened to me back in high school too. I felt like I was like, as soon as I stopped, I felt like I was levitating. It's cool. Runner's high. I'm pretty sure a handful of you guys experienced that. To the runners out there, especially the endurance ones.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being interrogated right now. Yeah. I'm just trying to get a little bit creative in terms of lighting. I'm still trying to figure out how to work this damned camera. As long as I've had it, which is years and years and years, I've rarely took the time and effort to actually see what its capabilities are. And it's just now that I've developed this type of interest to really play with the lighting, the aperture, and all that stuff. Although I've gotten some instructions from a few friends, it's just now starting to hit me. And granted, the lighting is not all that great, obviously, because everything's so dark. And it would be a little bit nicer to have some more lights around. The light right here is awfully bright, but it seems to do the job. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Anyway, yeah. So, the reason why I got this camera up here in the first place is, aside from the fact that I'm trying to play with lighting and whatnot, the best quote-unquote superfood, I don't necessarily think of it as a superfood because it's natural, since no one really takes advantage of what its capabilities are except for a handful of folks out there who really know how carbs work and whatnot. This guy. This looks kind of weird in the light, but this is a sweet potato. 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 When eaten raw, for me, it would provide ample amounts of energy for me to work out and skateboard. So usually it takes me maybe 2 to 3 hours to work out, and then another hour, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to go skating. And I don't usually eat at those points because for some reason my body does not like having food in its stomach while I'm doing activities. I usually eat maybe an hour or two beforehand, and even then I could still feel the slight heaviness of the food in my stomach. Now, I am trying to gain a little bit of weight, specifically for bodybuilding, but when it comes to skating, it's best to not have so much weight, but it's not like I'm putting on a drastic amount of weight, just enough to fill out. But when it comes to energy, I've experimented with a lot of stuff. If I were to go on a day fast from the time I wake up all the way to the time I go to bed without eating anything, that is by far like the most sustaining energy that I've ever had before when comparing to anything else. But the second best is if you eat sweet yams, the one that has like the orange flesh, just enough of it, just probably like the tip. It'll give you an incredible amount of energy, more better I feel than caffeine would. Every once in a while I would have Bang energy drinks that has the BCAAs and all those things. Granted, it does have that type of energy, but it's different. It's not like that energy where it sustains you throughout the day. It's more of like you know, like I want to get stuff done, like my hands are like shivering. In terms of drinking caffeine, that's what it really starts feeling like. My hands starts jittering and everything feels weird, and it's not a good time really, because then I know exactly what I'm going to experience as soon as I hit the bottom end of that energy. I start feeling lethargic, I start feeling a little oozy. Actually, the time when I worked out yesterday, I had a Bang energy drink, pina colada, and halfway into my workout, I was doing overhead tricep extensions, the cables. I started feeling really lethargic, lightheaded. Not that I stood up fast or anything, you know, I was just doing my workouts like normal. I felt lightheaded. I grabbed on the ropes as tight as I can. I grabbed on the bar right next to me, thinking that I was gonna faint. I know my body well enough to know what it's going through, and at that point my body is going through the process of taking the caffeine that's in my body and start pushing it out. You know, it starts to feel the effects of transitioning from using the caffeine as energy to using what my body is naturally intended to use, which is either fats or sugars. What it's doing is trying to push the caffeine, because it is a neurotoxin, all of that caffeine out of my body. It increases my metabolic rate. Uh-oh, battery's about to die. Sweet yams, real good stuff. There's a variety of yams out there, but I go with the one that has the orange flesh. For some reason, if you guys want to explore with other yams, just be mindful that some of the yams out there, like the purple yam, if you eat it raw, it'll leave a weird bitter taste in your mouth, and normally you don't eat potatoes raw. But I like potatoes. I like this type of potato because it reminds me of a really crunchy watermelon. It's really sweet. It's actually a lot sweeter when it's raw than it is cooked. Sweet yams.
It's yummy.
Alright, that about does it for this video. If y'all like this episode, please let me know by clicking that like button. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, please leave it down in the comment section below. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Julius. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell for my future videos. And if you'd like to further support this channel, go ahead and click that link on the bottom right-hand side of this banner. I'll see you all in the next one. Latest.